In the semifinals of the Scripps National Spelling Bee in Washington have just wrapped up, and the buzz is all about who will make it to the finals tonight. 9 on Your Side anchor Tanya O'Rourke is live at the Bee. And Tanya, of course, we have something of a rooting interest here.
Of course we do, because Joseph Delamerced from Summit Country Day School was in the semifinals today, and I'll tell you all about how he did in just a minute. But let me tell you this first. This spelling bee is really a wonderful event, and it is so intense in there, Clyde. We're in there sweating watching these kids up there because some of these words are just, I mean, you couldn't imagine some of these words trying to spell them. I know you couldn't. And you really can tell the difference between the good spellers and the extraordinary ones.
T-I-O-U-S. Voltacious.
This competition just got fierce. The words intense,
Stupefacient,
but with more syllables. And today, the spellers seem more flustered than we've seen before.
Y-A-T-O-M-E-T-E-R Hyatonder. Oh, God.
For most of the 42 kids, getting to the semifinal stage was a dream come true. Kids like 13-year-old Kuvam Shahane from Rochester Hills, Michigan.
Well, I'd like to make the semifinals, but I don't know how that's going to turn out. There are some pretty good spellers here.
Yes, there are.
Laureation. May I please have the language of origin?
13-year-old Mary Skirvin from Nashville, Indiana says she was not a good speller until she caught the bee bug, dedicated herself to spelling, and look at her now, in the semifinals.
Dreamed of coming here for about exactly 4 years.
Dreams like that mean tireless work for the kids and their parents. This is the 4th time Vicki Delamerced has made the trek from Cincinnati to Washington for the Bee. All 3 of her kids have spelled on the stage. 13-year-old Joseph has done it twice now, and the stress takes a toll on him and her.
My hair has started to turn white. I truly believe it's from the spelling bee.
These families sometimes prepare a year in advance to compete, and this mom says she might be okay if this spelling bee was their last.
So I told him, if you go far, you should retire. Now, if he listens to me, that'd be great. If he doesn't, I will follow his lead.
And let me tell you, he went far. He came in 12th. He tied for 12th. Got both of his words right, and unfortunately tying for 12th was 1 point shy. They took 11 spellers into the final, so Joseph Delamerced is going to have to follow his dreams maybe next year. I already talked to him. He said, I think I might want to try again. So we may be back here yet again next spring cheering on Joseph Delamerced, but what we will be doing tonight, Clyde, is we are going to be watching this to crown a new champion. From 11 million spellers at the start of this down to 11, and there's going to be one standing at the end of this entire evening. It's going to be great.
This is a pretty hot and heavy and intense competition, Tanya.
Yes, it is, Clyde. It really is. Want to try to spell one of his words? Malleolus or aquiclude?
No, wait a minute. He's seen Malleolus, Tanya. He'd be cheating if he tried to spell that. He couldn't even pronounce it.
I had a hard time, right. I had a hard time pronouncing it, so spelling's out of the question.
Hey, Catherine, I may not be pronouncing this right. There are no guarantees on that. None.
Well, anyway, we'll keep watching to see what happens in the finals tonight. Tanya O'Rourke reporting live from Washington. Thank you.
Thousands of furloughs.